Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another video, and if you have not watched my previous video where I was talking about Lichen Planus extensively, please go back and watch this video before you watch this one so that you can understand where this one is going, because it's a follow-up of that video. So now, if you haven't, please go watch that one first and then come back for this one. Anyway, I do still have my notes here wherein I am going to be explaining what happened afterwards. In my previous video, I did mention that my doctor did prescribe me to start with the UVB phototherapy sessions, which I had to do about 21 sessions. And with this, I had to do this like twice a week. And yeah, so the very next day, my first session was booked. So maybe let me first explain to you what is UVB phototherapy lighting or treatment. So this is a form of treatment which helps to treat skin disorders like vitiligo and many other diseases out there. So how it works is it works by exposing your skin to ultraviolet light, which then is supposed to help to reduce either the eruptions or whatever the condition that you should have on your skin. So this is done with artificial light over a period of time or over a period of a few sessions. So that's what I was now supposed to do. So now I went there and I started with my first session, and everything went well. I am going to insert just a little video showing how the machine actually looks like. So since I had this lesions that were going out of my skin throughout my whole body, I had to walk into the machine with naked, not with naked, but naked, with my hands standing up high, because I mean, I had this, okay, I have all over, so I had to walk in like that, and I had little goggles that I had to put on my eyes to protect my eyes. So I started off by standing in the machine for 13 seconds. So what they do is they introduce you into the machine, and then slowly you start adding up. They start increasing the amount of time and also the strength of the light as time goes on, because they don't want you to burn the first time you get there. So it's a gradual increase of voltage and time in the machine. So I did that for about 5 sessions as it was increasing, and everything was fine, but I still continued to have flares every now and then. I didn't exactly pick up when it was happening, but I could say it was happening around twice a week. But I still continued with the treatment because I thought to myself, okay, the doctor did say like 21 sessions. So I'm only at session number 5 right now. So I just need to give this a bit more time. And the flares were there, but not as bad, but bearable, with the fasting in between, wherein I had greens or a smoothie now and then. So that was like my new way of life. And I continued with this, and I would normally go for the sessions in the morning around 7:30, and I mean, they lasted literally less than a minute, and then after that I would be able to go to work and then start my day. So as time went on, I would schedule it on one on a Monday and one on a Thursday, just to have a spacing of about 2 to 3 days, 3 days in between the sessions and over the weekend. And as I continued, I then realized, I think on session number 6, when I came back that evening, I didn't sleep. I mean, the flaring was too much. And I did write an email to my doctor, telling her that my condition is actually getting worse and not getting better. And is there something that she could give me that could assist me? And she asked me to come in the very next morning, because I sent this at night. So she responded in the early hours, and 9 o'clock I was there. And when she looked at me, she's like, but the phototherapy session is supposed to be making your skin improve. It's supposed to reduce the rate of the lesions and slow down this skin condition. So she didn't understand why that was happening, but then she decided, you know what? I think let's go in hard. Let's increase the voltage and let's increase the time. So when I went back to the clinic, that's exactly what they did. They increased the voltage and they increased the time. And that first session, when I got out, I was still feeling okay. But around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I suddenly started having the itching start all over again. And this time very, very strong. And I didn't understand what was going on, because apparently the high voltage is supposed to try and kill this thing, or somehow, just let it subside. But nothing like that happened. It actually just got worse. So I told her this, and I also told the nurse at the clinic, and she did say to me that sometimes these conditions, they tend to get worse before they get better. And I was like, hey, but this is painful. And I just thought to myself, okay, you know what, girl, let's stick it out, right? So this is session number 7. And then when we got to 8, same thing happened. I remember that evening not even evening, let's start in the afternoon, when I was at work, 2 o'clock, I wanted to leave because I was on fire. I remember running to the pharmacy, asking them, can't you give me something? And when I showed them, my skin was swollen red. I will insert a picture somewhere. It was so bad. I didn't even know what was going on. I could literally see the lesions coming out, unlike wherein I would see them after they've appeared. I didn't see the process, but I could see them erupting out of my skin. And they tried to give me some itch ointments and coconut oil and mint, and I got a lot of stuff that day. And I also got allergy pills, right? So I take all of that. Obviously I'm desperate and I don't know what to do. And I get home, first thing, jump into a bathtub with Epsom salts and just look warm water, because my body was on fire. I stayed in there literally for 5 hours, and it's not like it was really calming. It was just slightly a bit better, but I was in so much pain. Eventually I got out, went straight to bed. I slept, and at this time I had been taking sleeping tablets to go to sleep, and my sleep patterns were every 2 hours I'd wake up, take more sleeping tablets, and then sleep again, because I would be woken up by the pain in the middle of the night. Every 2 hours, the pain wakes, it was so bad. And that happened with that session. And then this time I went to the 9th session. But this time, wait, let me go back to the 8th one. I suspected that the grapes that I had the night before could have caused the major horrible flare that I had, because I hadn't had grapes for some time, because I was having your spinach, banana. My menu was very, very limited. I barely ate anything because I was afraid of anything that could trigger a flare. And I had grapes, so I thought it was grapes. I decided to cut the grapes out. And then the day before I went for my 9th session, I decided not to eat anything at all. and thought I will eat after the session because I don't want anything that could trigger another flare. So I went to the session, and this time my session was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I think that was one of the longest ones, because the previous one was 1 minute and 49 seconds. Yeah. So when I got there, session was nice, everything is good, great. I get to work. This time it's not even like 2 hours after the session, the itching starts. My God. I was like, this is not happening. I didn't eat anything, I really believed it was food. And then I sat back and I thought, no, girl, think about it. You've been having flares twice a week. Yes, different times, but those are the days that I usually have the UVB phototherapy sessions. And at this point in time, my body was full of lesions. And mind you, when I started the sessions, it was to reduce the rate, but now the rate had escalated, like literally escalated to like 100% faster than what it was doing before. So I was like, no, I think it's the phototherapy sessions. This UVB light is not working for me. Yes, it might have worked for other people, but for me, it was worse. I'm going to insert a before picture when I actually started the phototherapy session and the last session on the last day that I did the 9th session, because after that, I was like, no ways. By the time I'm done with this, my body will be burnt, So I did call my doctor again. She asked me to come back in, and I went back in, and I showed her my body was still red, like from yesterday's session. And she's like, you know what, I don't understand what is going on with your skin. This should have at least been working. This is the last thing that I can actually give to you, And I thought to myself, my God, what is she saying? I'm a hopeless case. And she said, you know what, my dear, I have given you everything that I can under this condition. The treatment I gave you is the strongest, and the prednisone, all of that was supposed to work. The Adventan is supposed to help you relieve the itching throughout the days. And she said to me, right now at this point in time, your only hope is to sit it out and hope that you go into remission eventually. And I was like, eventually, like, when do you think that would be? And she said to me, this could go it could take anything from 6 months to a year or even longer. I can't promise you. It all depends on the extent of what this disease wants to go at and attack you, literally. And yeah, that was heartbreaking to hear that there was no more help for me. And mind you, she is a disease specialist. Like, she is one of the best dermatologists that we have in Pretoria, and she's telling me that there's nothing that they can do for me. Whew. Yeah, so all she could do, or all she did, was to prescribe me more Texa allergy, more sleeping tablets, and more Adventan, and also just a mint cream, because whenever I applied the mint cream on my hands, it would seem to reduce the burn for just a few minutes, but once it wears out, we're back to square one. So at this time, I knew that there was no more help. There was no way I could go. And now, my parents, just I think a week or so after that incident, they came from a health center in Cape Town called Be Free Lifestyle Center, wherein they use a holistic approach on healing you, whatever ailments that you have. They use food and less of medication. So when they came back, my mom was like, Valerie, would you perhaps consider just going to try out the center? Maybe they can help you with this condition. And I was like, but ma, the specialists are out of options. What will a wellness center do for me, you know? And she's like, my child, please just try. I feel a lot better since I got back. And I was like, so not looking forward to it, because I thought to myself, I'm just going there and somebody's going to be trying things almost the same way that my dermatologist was doing. Though in her case, yes, that's what she could do at that time. And another thing that was a bit discouraging was because when I spoke to the nurses at the wellness center, they did tell me that they had never seen or heard of Lichen Planus ever, and that this is the first time they've seen even lesions or pictures like what I have. So they said, but anyway, they are willing to still try and see what types of treatment they can do or give me to try and relieve me, even if it's not completely. Obviously, there's no cure. I wasn't looking for healing. I was looking more for relief, you know, for the pain, the sleep, the itch, because my skin was on fire, you know. And they said that please just come through, give us an opportunity, and let us see how best we can assist you to at least improve your standard of living, the way that you're living, your everyday life, you know. So I was like, okay, you know what, we've already tried everything. It wouldn't hurt to actually go and try out the lifestyle change at Be Free Wellness Center. So then, okay, I decided, let me go, because the pain in my parents' eyes when they saw that there was nothing they could do, it was heartbreaking. And imagine seeing your child in so much pain and there's nothing that you could do. It was something that made me think, okay, you know what, I'm in pain. Yes, I'm not even sure that they can assist me, but let me just go for their sake, you know. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go, and then let's see how it goes, right? So yeah, I started getting ready to go to Be Free, and this is around May 2nd, yeah. So it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and at this time, another fear I had was that as much as the approach of the health center was more food-based, already I wasn't eating anything, and I was afraid that they will make me want to, not even make me want to, but they will require me to eat food that already I have removed out of my diet. And I just feared having trigger after trigger, flare after flare, lesions after lesions, you know. But at this time, I just thought, let me go. Because another thing, as much as the research says that Lichen Planus doesn't kill, I honestly believed that it was going to be the end of me. The amount of pain I was in was excruciating. At this point, I could barely sit properly on a chair because of how painful my skin was all over. When I moved, it was horrible. My steps had to be very slow. I didn't move much. I even stopped going to work at this time because I just couldn't function, you know. The pain was too much. I literally lay in bed most of the days, and going to Cape Town was probably like the first time I was going to be leaving home during the period, just so I could go for treatment, because I had now stopped the UVB phototherapy sessions. So yeah, I then started my journey to be free, to go for the treatment. And I think the trip to Cape Town and the whole treatment and all of that, I will do on another separate video. I'm trying to avoid having my videos being too long, wherein they're just going to, you know, drag. I want it to be in sections, so that if it is that you want to know only about the treatment is there. If you want to know about the disease itself, the disease is there. If you want to know what made it better, you know, all of that. So this is where I'm going to end my video for today. And thank you again for watching. And thank you so much for liking my videos and subscribing again. And those who haven't yet, please do subscribe and do ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I do upload. And yeah, until the next one, bye.